This scene harkens back to season 1. We last saw Nymeria when Arya made her run away because she wanted to save Nymeria's life. She knew Cersei was going to kill her if she found her. And when she finally finds Nymeria again, or Nymeria finds her, and she, of course, wants her to come back home with her and be her loyal companion again, but Nymeria has found her own life.
That's Not You is a direct reference to what Arya herself said to her father when her father painted this picture for her of the life she could have as the lady of a castle and marrying some lord and wearing a nice frilly dress.
That's not me.
Arya is not domesticated, and it makes total sense that her wolf wouldn't be either. And once the wolf walks away, at first she's heartbroken to have come this close. Then she realizes that the wolf is doing exactly what she would do if she were that wolf.
Like so many of these scenes where there's a lot of visual effects elements and all, but it all ultimately comes down to, can the actor pull it off in a close-up? And that's what Maisie does at the end of that scene.
Jon's position as a king and as a leader, it's nothing he ever wanted. It's nothing he ever sought out. It's something he accepted reluctantly when it was thrust upon him.
Lord Tyrion has invited me to Dragonstone to meet with Daenerys, and I'm going to accept.
He makes this decision, and it's a much different leadership situation than he's been in before.
I don't think it's an easy decision for him, but also he doesn't have that many good decisions left. It's the best of a series of horrible choices.
We need this dragonglass, my lord.
He has a very good sense of what they're facing, a better sense of what they're facing than anybody in this room, because he's the only one in the room who's actually seen it. And you need to see it to believe it.
He's taking a calculated risk, and that's kind of who he is. He's always been willing to risk himself, his own health and life for the people that he's sworn to protect when he was in the Night's Watch, and now that he's sworn to lead as King of the North.
We should hit King's Landing now, hard, with everything we have.
I don't think there are that many situations in film or television where you see 4 women sitting around a table discussing power and strategy and war. We didn't really plan it that way, but once it landed on that, we knew that these things had to be discussed. We knew the plan to take Casterly Rock had to be put out there. I think it's a scene that, had it been the exact same information and situation being put forward by a bunch of old, grizzled guys with gray beards, it would have been a lot less interesting. To have it be Emilia at one end of the table and Diana at the other end of the table, to me, that just is such a breath of fresh air and made writing it a lot more fun. At the end, after all has been said and done, then Olenna sits her down and tells her to ignore all of that.
You're a dragon. Be a dragon.
When Diana tells you to do that, you start to go outside the scene and wonder if that applies to every aspect of your life and not just the scene you happen to be shooting. You've seen Euron talking the talk, and this is where we see that this guy isn't all talk, that this is somebody who can actually do the things that he's bragging about. I love the sequence, and the whole sequence is paid off in full by the looks that those 3 give us.
To us, that was the most important part of the whole scene. So there's weeks and weeks to shoot this battle and all the visual effects and everything, but the most important part for us was just those close-ups at the end.
We maybe fooled ourselves into thinking that Theon was out of the woods on his whole Reek experience, and as we were writing it, we realized that you don't just get over what happened to him. That's something that's going to be a part of him for the rest of his life, and this is a place that triggers the worst of that experience.
When Euron has his sister and Theon can try to rescue her, you know, against all the odds, he can't do it. Just the look on her face, that look of being betrayed, and the look on his face, he's falling apart again.
As much as anything, to see Euron's pure psycho glee at watching this happen between the 2 of them, and when Theon jumps overboard, that laugh is the character's encapsulation.